Oh, that's nearly the perfect shot. Yeah, hello. Welcome. And my name is Jerry Tukowski from Vimico. Really exciting to be here today because we are on a really hot topic today, and that is how to get more views for your video ads or your video content. Now, I'm going to guarantee you're going to get more views, and I can do that because we are going to use the essential human basic desires, the instincts that will make it your video absolutely irresistible for anyone to watch. And let me just frame that perfectly. Okay, so lots of good stuff today. So grab yourself a pen and paper or something to write on because we are going to share some great stuff that you can use for all your videos. But we're going to focus really on the video ads, video content that you want to promote your products and services for your ideal customers. Okay, so there's really two parts to this. First of all, we need to grab the initial attention. So when your video is in the news feed, such as in Facebook, they need to actually notice your video is there. So that's a step number one that we're going to look at. Of course, now once they notice your video is there, we've got to keep them there. We've got to keep them to want to watch your video. So that's part two. So two parts to this equation. And they're the stats that you'll be looking at when your analytics, when you're actually looking at your video, whether you're improving these analytics. A very important part is, do they watch between 3 and 10 seconds of your video? And the second part, are they watching 25 or 50% of your video? Now that percentage really depends how long your video is. I mean, if you've got a 30-second video, then you want people to watch at least 50, 75, 90% of your video. If you've got like a 10-minute video, then you might be happy with just 25% of your video being watched. So it just depends how long your video is, because the longer the video is, the more chances that they're going to be distracted by other things and they won't be able to watch your video. But if you've got a 30-second or 1-minute video, then you want to go for higher figures such as 50% or 75%. So let's get straight into it. We want more people to watch our video ads because Facebook are charging us 3-second views, and 3-second views is really nothing really. It's just that you were in the news feed, they're just scrolling through and they haven't even noticed you. So we've got to work really hard in getting our video noticed. So the first part we're going to look at there's all these. We're going to just use things that are absolutely instinctive to us, because this is how we survived as human species. Now, the first thing we want to do is some sort of movement right from the very start. Now, why movement? Because we are absolutely hardwired to notice movement. I mean, if you're walking through the jungles, if you see some movement, you're going to be instantly attracted. You have no choice. You don't think to yourself, there's some movement in the bushes. I wonder whether I should have a look or not. No way. It's just instinctive. Something moves, you look, because it could be something that's about to eat you, have you for dinner, right? So it's absolutely instinctive for us to notice movement. So does that give us a clue of what we need to do for those first 3 seconds? Yes, movement. Please do not sit in front of your video going, "Hello, my name is Jerry, and it's so nice to see you." No, we want some movement. Get some sort of a movement happening. Something unusual or something exciting. It could be some graphics. I've used a video where I had fire leaping up around me, or text that's moving. Moving text is great. Or just you moving. Just have some sort of movement which will obviously grab our attention. And that makes videos so much more powerful than graphics or text ads. That's why I want you to use video ads all the time, because of that movement instinct. So that's the first thing we want to do, some sort of movement right from the very start of your video. Now the second tactic is difference. You want to be different from what else is on the news feed. All right, so get on Facebook, have a look through, scroll down the Facebook news feed or YouTube and find out what stands out. Now, the most obvious thing to choose is the color. Use a color that really stands out, something bright and red. Okay, well, I'm using green today, but use some bright different colors that stand out from the news feed. Right? Look, for example, if you saw something which had 100 boxes there, They're all blue, but one of them was red. Where would our attention go? It goes to something that's different. Again, that's instinctive. It's survival instincts. We're going to look at what's out of place, what's different. You know, when you're walking down, when you walk into a lounge room and you notice, oh, that chair's moved. You know, that chair's always here. Why has it moved? You notice things that are different. You don't notice things that are the same. Okay, so you need to be something that's different. Right? And just wear different colors. You know, just do something that's a little bit different from what else is in the newsfeed. Now, the third point is something that's unusual, something we don't expect. It could be, you know, you're doing your introduction upside down. It could be a different hat. It could be something that's a little bit unusual that cause us to take a second look. Okay, don't be like everyone else. Just do something that's a little bit different right from the very start. It could be text that comes out of your mouth, which I do sometimes as well. But whatever it is, just do something, think about it. It's worth thinking about doing something that is unusual, that we don't expect, that we take a second look, because that's the whole point of this, is to grab that initial attention. Okay, now the final point is the human face. We are drawn to other human faces, particularly when we make eye contact. Now, you know, try this yourself. You know, you're in a room, crowd of, you know, there's a whole lot of crowd. You turn around and you instantly make eye contact with someone else. How does that work? I mean, just as you turn around, the first thing you do is eye contact. Again, that's natural human instincts, because, you know, we want to know whether that person is a friend or a foe. And we do that by making contact, with eye contact. The same with animals. You know, your dog makes eye contact with you straight away. They want to work out, you know, should I bark at you or should I lick you? That didn't sound too good. But anyway, you know, they want to find out whether you're a friend or foe. And that's a very important part. And we do have, we need to make eye contact with a camera. And that's why I always say, get in front of the camera. You know, it doesn't matter whether... it doesn't matter how you look, because the more often they see you on camera, the more attractive you seem to be. And that's why I've done thousands and thousands of videos. I'm not sure whether it works or not, but anyway, it's worth trying. Just get in front of the cameras, make eye contact to your audience the best way we can through video, and go from there. Now, let's see where we're going now. So they're essentially the 4 ways we can attract attention straight away. That's through movement, it's through difference, it's through something unusual, and obviously having our face in front of the camera is a great way of doing it. So they're the ways we can certainly get in front of an audience so that they have a second look at us. Now, once they have a quick look at us, we need then to go straight to the essential human desires. Now, I want you to think about your product and service and think about, you know, what desire is underneath all this. You know, we tend to talk a lot about the features of our products, and that gets us nowhere. No one is interested in your features. No one's interested in your business. No one's interested in you, really. They're only interested in themselves and how you can help them solve problems. So we want to get down to the very core desires, and there are 8 core desires that are instinctive, that we all have underneath. And if you can touch on one of those desires, and you only know you need to touch one of those desires for your product or service, then people are going to watch your video. All right, it's as simple as that. So let's talk about the first human desire, which is really all about survival, about living longer. So that's instinctive. Now, if we didn't have that as one of our instincts in life, then we probably wouldn't be here. In fact, I wouldn't be here, which probably is not a bad thing for some of you. But it's all about survival. It's all about instinct. And that's why, you know, the supplement market is absolutely massive, right? Absolutely massive. And that's why things like, you know, health and fitness, living longer, you know, why else would someone freeze their bodies when they die so they can come back? It's all about survival. You know, it's absolutely instinctive. So if you have a product or service that you can dig down deep and find the essential desire is survival, then that's where you've got to approach your whole marketing. It's on survival. It's on living longer, to a healthier life. All right, focus on that desire, not how cheap your product is, not how beautiful your product is, not how well packaged your product is, not where it's from, not what it's made of. Focus on the human desire of survival, and people will naturally be interested in what you have. So that's the first one. Now, number two is about food and drinks. That's something we all have in common, right? We all eat and drink at some stage every day. Now, of course, unfortunately, there are people who don't, and that's very unfortunate, and it's going to cause massive problems for them, all right? It's part of survival. If we don't eat or drink every day, we're not going to be around for very long. So this is, it's quite a serious thing. So if your product, if it's about restaurants, focus on the food, focus on the drinks, focus on if you're a supermarket selling food and drinks, that's quite obvious. So food and drinks is an obvious thing to focus on because it's something that all of us have to do every day, or we're not going to be here for much longer, right? So now the other one's about avoiding pain, about avoiding fear, about avoiding danger, because all those things stress us. If we're worried about, if we're walking in the jungles and we're hearing noises and we're thinking, are we going to be someone's meal in a moment? Obviously, it causes a lot of stress. The stress increases, and that is a terrible feeling. I mean, you feel it at work when you have stress. Stress is a very uncomfortable feeling to have, and we want to avoid stress. And stress is caused by fear, danger, anxiety, pain, danger, all these sorts of things. So we want to avoid those sorts of feelings, and we do anything that's going to help us to avoid those things. And that's why things like alcohol, drugs are why we have them in society, because it helps people to avoid those sort of stress feelings that they have, unfortunately. But of course, there are better ways of doing that, and you've got to find a way of doing that. Now, I'll always give an example of this is with fences, all right? Fences around your home. And people talk about the fence, about how beautiful the fence is, aesthetically looking, how quickly they can build the fence, how cheap it is, how it increases the value of your home, and all those things are important. But the nitty-gritty of the fence is security of your home. And if you can focus on the key desire, which is danger and fear, if you can eliminate those human, not desires, but human feelings, human emotions, by saying the fence is going to keep your home secure. And you know that, if you don't have a fence, you're 80% more likely for your house to be broken into. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, I'll just make that up. But, if you want to focus on that angle, saying, without a fence, the risk of being, burgled or house invasion to take place is going to increase. By having a fence, decreases that, and it makes your house more secure. That will make people more interested in buying your product. Then you can talk about prices and all that, but you've got to get to the very core human desire. So that's the third one. Now the fourth one is about intimate relationships. Again, it's human instincts for us to find a mate. It's survival of the species. If we didn't have this instinct, if everyone would just want to be by themselves and not partner up, well, then what would happen? Obviously, the human species would end. So it has to be an instinct there. And that's why, the singles market is so huge for marketers. I mean, they just want to get in there, tap in there, find get you a partner so you can hook up and, grow a family and so forth. So, it's a huge market. And that's, if your product, again, if your product or service is somehow related to intimate relationships, there's your button you've got to push all the time, all right? Everything else is interesting, but it's not effective. Touch that button about intimate relationships. Okay, now the other one is something called to be superior. Something which I have no idea what that means. Being superior? Not me, no. So something superior. So what does that mean? Well, we like to feel ahead of the game of other people. We like to, show off a little things. And obviously, if we look at, for example, the car market, it's a good example, right? The car market, that's why people buy expensive cars. Mercedes-Benz, Jaguars, Rolls-Royces, all those, more expensive cars for the sole reason is that you want to be able to drive those cars and people to look through and say, "Ooh, look at the driver there." You know, and even if you have tinted windows, you might, you know, pull down the windows so they can see, wow, that person's got, ooh, they must be successful. They must be doing well. They must have a great job. They must have lots of money. You know, they must work really hard. Whatever it is, the status symbol, you know, cars, because, you know, what does a car do? It takes you from A to B. So if you focus on that, you know, our car can take you from A to B and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It has no value. But if it's status, you know, this car costs this much money, you need to be successful before you can have this car. You know, perfect way of showing status. Or clothing. We do it through clothing as well. You know, we accidentally have the tag hanging out of our clothing, so people can look at it and say, "Oh, wow, that's a good material, or good make, or good whatever, good brand." You know, it's a brand, so geez, they must be successful to buy that brand, right? So very important. It's a real human desire that we have. Okay. Now the other thing is care and protection of our loved ones, and that's very important. I mean, again, that's instincts. I mean, we want to look after, you know, the people that we love, you know, our family, particularly our children. It's an instinctive thing to help them in distress or disasters. First thing we want to do is help our children, and because it's instinctive, we've got to help our species survive, right? Again, so anything that hits on that desire is going to be very, very powerful. So again, look at your products in service. Does it hit upon that desire? You know, if we go back to the car example, the good one is Volvo. What does Volvo do? Volvo is about safety. So if we think about safety, you know, particularly when we get children, you know, I've thrown away my motorbikes and my fast cars when I had children, and I've got more cars that are all about safety. Okay, so I'll get a SUV, feel safer in a car that's higher. I want to make sure that my family is safe, and I want to watch, and the ads are going to attract me, are the ones that aim for that particular desire. Okay, now the final one is it's all about social approval. Social approval. I mean, we want to be part of our community. We don't want to be an exile in our community where no one talks to us. So whatever the community does, we want to follow that. So if everyone in our community you know, is buying products that are safe for the environment, for example, then that's what we do. We go and buy that product. We say, hey, you know, we bought this product. We make sure that, you know, when we're drinking from a water bottle, that you know, it's environmentally friendly plastic that's going to be biodegradable. You know, so we want to be part of a community. We want to be you know, having a positive part of that community. So again, if your product or service sort of touches on that desire, then get it right in there. All right, get right in there. So, you know, there's 8 human desires. I'll just, you know, survival, living longer, food, drinks, intimate relationships, building comfortable environment. A home is another one. I think we mentioned that comfortable home environment. You know, that we want to have some sort of environment that you know, we want to be comfortable where we live. You know, that's why we buy comfortable furniture. You know, if there's a leaking roof, we want to quickly get that fixed because we want to live somewhere that we're comfortable. Because if we have a leaking roof or there's too much noise or the window's cracked, again, it causes stress. So at the end of the day, there's 2 reasons why we buy anything. One is to be happy. It's something that's going to move us forward. It's going to make us happy at the end of the day. It's going to achieve something that's going to make us happy. The other reason we buy is because we are unhappy now. There's something stressful in our lives that we want to get rid of that stress. So they're the 2 reasons we buy anything at the end of the day. And these desires that we talked about today are either going to make us happy or get rid of stress. And that's why we talk about being comfortable in a living environment, because it causes stress if we're not comfortable. All right, so again, we want to move ourselves somewhere that is going to be a better place for us. So if you focus on those 8 human desires right from the very start, don't leave it till the end, get right from the very start. Once you capture their attention through a movement and so forth, once we capture their attention, we want to say, hey, this is what this video is about. And if you can hit one of those 8 desires in human life, then they're going to watch your video. They're going to watch your video ad or your content video. All right, I hope that helps you. Does that help you? Let me know. I love to find out. Now, if you, I guess I'm going to now focus on a human desire, which is being superior perhaps, or perhaps it's just being part of the community, social approval. I want you to join Video Ads Mastermind. It's on a Facebook group. Just look for Video Ads Mastermind. Ask to join our group because I want to be able to continue our conversation in the group, in our community. So think of it as, you know, being part of a community, social approval. Or if you want to feel superior, you want to feel above everyone else, joining an exclusive club like this, certainly do. No, it's not exclusive. It's anyone can join us, and we have a lot of fun there. So looking forward to meeting up with you in a group, or just say hello. Let us know what you think about this video, and let me know whether you're using it for your next video ads or your content video. Really enjoyed presenting this to you. My name is Jerry Dukoski. If you want to catch up with me more, you can obviously go to my website at vimico.com.au. Until then, bye for now.